So, continuing on with our triangles, we're going to talk about congruent triangles. For triangles to be congruent, that means they have to have the exact same side lengths and the exact same angle measures. So I've got these two triangles up here, so we're going to kind of just show that notation on our triangle. To show that triangles are congruent, I have to know that all three sides are congruent to all three corresponding sides in the second triangle. So corresponding sides means the side is in the same position, okay? We also have to know all three corresponding angles are congruent. So these angles would be congruent, these angles, and these angles. So once I know that all three sides and all three angles from triangle A to triangle B are congruent to each other, I now know that those triangles are congruent. The hard part is that's a lot of information that is needed. That is 12 different pieces of knowledge. So lucky for us, there are some shortcuts to guarantee triangles are congruent. And I've got them listed here on the board for us. So our first one is side, side, side congruency. If you know three sides of triangle A are congruent to three sides of triangle B, then those triangles are congruent. That's enough information to guarantee those triangles are congruent. So what this would look like is if we have our two triangles, I know all three sides are congruent. Okay, and we're going to call this side, side, side congruency. We also have side, angle, side. And these are in consecutive order. So I would say side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. If I know this about triangle A and this about triangle B, those triangles are congruent. There's no other way to build triangle B if I were to have these congruency statements. Okay? So this is side, angle, side. So over here we have angle, side, angle. Again, we're looking at consecutive parts. So in my diagram, I'm going to have angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. Those two triangles are congruent based off of angle, side, angle congruency. That's all I know, that's all I'm given, but it is enough to guarantee that those triangles are congruent. So my last one here, angle, angle, side. Going in consecutive order, this would be angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Again, that is enough information to guarantee that those two triangles are congruent. There are two shortcuts, excuse me, that we might want to try, but they actually don't work. They do not guarantee congruent triangles. And that is angle, angle, angle. That doesn't guarantee congruency. If the angles match, that doesn't mean anything about the sides, so we're not guaranteed congruent triangles. And side, side, angle. That again isn't enough to make our triangles concrete. It still leaves room for movement, in which case we're not guaranteed congruent triangles. So these two do not work. Okay? No screaming and no cussing. Okay? Okay. So we're just going to erase that so it's not left on my screen. Okay. So I've got two examples here to kind of help visualize this. We're given some information and we're trying to determine are our triangles congruent? If they are, how do we know? So my first example here, I'm given an angle and one side. That's only two pieces of information. We need three. So if I look here, I do know that these triangles are congruent because they are, not triangles, these angles are congruent because they're vertical angles. And now I can say this triangle is congruent to this triangle by angle, angle, side. angle, angle, side. Make sense? Hope so. Okay. Down here, I'm giving two sides from triangle A to triangle B, and then this third side is shared by the two triangles. So I know these triangles are congruent for side, side, side. So we have our four shortcuts. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Those guarantee triangles are congruent. We're going to be using those as we go through and talk about proofs. So make sure you're familiar with them. If you've got questions, let me know.